Do I have your consent to record this conversation?
Yes.
Okay. So today we're talking about successful aging. So I wanted to ask what successful aging means to you, what your definition is.
Well, definition is you should start at an early age thinking that you need to save part of your salary for the successful aging. This you really don't uh, start thinking about soon enough. But I think with me, my successful aging, I always had a job that paid above average, which was good. We done some traveling with what we enjoyed. Um, this what we did and what we enjoyed, we didn't realize at the time, but it was part of successful aging. Uh, we started out maybe spending too much money, uh, like with a place at the lake, a boat, uh, a home at the lake. But by the time we got past that and decided it was time to do something else, when we sold that, we made enough money off of it that we actually accumulated money to where we could put it to something else. Uh, that way it's hard to put it in words, but this is what you have to do your whole thing. We started out playing golf. That didn't work out well because my wife because of her back, couldn't swing a golf club or uh, bowl. So we started square dancing. We didn't, the things that we done for entertainment did not cost a lot, but it was something we enjoyed and something that everybody else at that time enjoyed. So we had good times. We saved enough money to keep accumulating. We invested some. We invested, happened that we invested good. When we got to retirement age, then we had the money to do the things we wanted to do, and without hurting our mind. So I would say that is, maybe I'm putting too much on the monetary part of aging, but you have to do that, or when you get to a certain age where you want to do things, if you don't have the money to do it, then you're going to sit at home uh, and read magazines, which I never did care to do anyway. But we enjoyed, when I say we, I'm talking about my wife and I, enjoyed everything that we did from the time we got married. We were like 19 and 20 when we got married, so we were able to pick and choose and do the things that we needed or that we wanted to do, that we could afford to do. We never did want for any more finances to do the things that we enjoyed. Along with this, you have to be physical. I mean, we, for entertainment, we square danced. We square danced for 35 years. After maybe some health issues like new knees, then we quit square dancing. At about the same time, we sold our boat and home on the lake. Then we started just regular dancing. We did that a lot. We also done some traveling with that, as well as just like we did when we square danced. We right now, this successful aging, it has paid off because I don't know whether I should tell you how old I am now, but you'd think I was ready for the care center, but we still exercise, we walk, we dance at least 2 nights a week. We still try to do the physical part of, you might call it work, or we try to think of it as enjoying it when we walk. You have to do this if you stop doing this, you know you're going to end up in a rocking chair someplace to spend your days. We don't do a lot of that. I'll talk now with my age. All of this that happened was during the time we've been married 68 years. So we've done a lot of different things that we enjoyed. Most of the things that we enjoyed kept us physically fit to keep doing other things that we enjoyed. You have to be ready for there might be a time that you might have something try to stop you. About 3 or 4 months ago, I blacked out in my garage working on my golf cart. I finally came to. I don't know how long I was laying there, but I came to, and I had my wife, my great-granddaughter, take me to the emergency room. And to make a long story short, I ended up, they called it, said I probably had a heart blockage that caused this, so I ended up with a pacemaker. And so I was out for about a month, not doing the things that I was used to doing. But now then, maybe a little slower, but we're back into the physical part. We dance a couple of weeks. I'm sorry, not a couple of weeks. We dance twice a week now. We walk, maybe not quite as far, but I would like to get back to walking as far as I was before. If I can get pain medication to take care of my back, where it doesn't give me a lot of pain. But anyway, everything that we have done, we might not have thought about this so much when we were 20 years old, or even 30 or 40, but everything that we were doing, we were working toward a successful age. You have to keep up the physical part. You want to enjoy it, or you wouldn't do it. This to me is successful aging, whether or not you believe that it is while you're doing it. You just get used to it, and it's just part of you. I don't know of anything I can add to that.
Well, now that you've given me your definition, I have a couple traits that researchers have coined that kind of add to that. So there are 58 different traits. Obviously, I won't name all of them because we'd be here forever, but a couple of different traits that are related to successful aging is adaptation, the ability to just change as your surroundings change, happiness, so overall enjoyment of what you're doing, which you mentioned, creativity, I think that's definitely a big one, being able to do things that challenge your mind, kind of like when I make you draw glasses of water or something like that when my art classes are going, things that challenge you a little bit. And then continued developmental growth and learning, so just keeping an open mind and being willing to learn as times change, basically. Here are some synonymous labels with successful aging, which might make it a little bit more clear what exactly it is. So here's 3 of I think there was 9 of them. There's healthy aging, positive aging, and active aging are just a couple different names for successful aging that researchers have come up with. And there are also some categories that all of the different 58 traits fall into. So these are some categories which can help contribute to aging successfully if you're involved in them, pretty much. So civic engagement, making sure that you know what's going on in your town, going out and voting, things like the 2 of you do, where I let you know what's going on and what we need to vote on and our civic duties, basically. Cognitive health, so you reading the newspaper, grandma doing crossword puzzles, playing cards, things like that challenge your mind are a part of cognitive health. Retirement and pensions, the monetary, like you said, is one of the categories. family relationships, so keeping a tight hold with your family so that you have people to support you. Hobbies, which you've listed a couple of hobbies that the two of you have had over the years. Positive mental and emotional health, so just not getting down and depressed about different things, Physical health, religious participation. Having religion can definitely inspire people to keep going, And then social interaction. So those are the different categories. Now that I've talked about those categories and everything, is there anything that you want to add or change for your definition of successful aging? Does that help you understand it a little better?
Well, I'm sure there's things that I could add to it. Nothing that I would want to change. Yes, we've been active in not so much in political things, but in clubs. I belong to the Gate of the Temple Masonic Lodge, belong to the Joplin Scottish Rite, and I belong to the club in Springfield, which is
The Elks? Or
well,
a different one?
I belong to the Elks, but this spring I got on
Shriners?
Shriners.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Belong to the Shriners. I've been active in all three. In the particularly the Shriners, after joining the Shrine, I joined the Clowns. We dressed as clowns. We participated in many parades, 4th of July, others, parades in Marshfield, the 4th of July, Nixa, in a some kind of fish fry deal there. Other cities around, and at the same time we would go to places that I hope I never end up in myself. We would go to nursing homes and visit the people that lived in nursing homes, some of them that I'm sure had no friends or relatives that ever visited them. Then I did forget to mention that I also belong to the Elks Club. There's many things we can do there. I never did do everything that I could have done there because I was always busy doing something somewhere else, but right now we go to the Elks Club usually every Friday evening for dinner and a dance. And to add to the dancing, we usually dance on every Saturday night at either a senior citizen center or we go to places, senior citizen center at Springfield, we go to Marshfield, Bolivar, Monad, Nixa. That about the only other towns that we go to dancing. But we've always been active in these type things. My wife never did get a chance to join a lot of clubs because she was always busy going to the same places I went to or making clown uniforms for me to wear. And the clown, I've grown a little past being active now. Went inactive in the three Masonic things. I've got my 50-year pins last year. I haven't been a member of the Elks that long, like 25 years, I think, but we enjoy being that. We've always religion has always been a part of our life. When my wife and I were married, I went to the Methodist church. She went to the Baptist church. I converted her over to the Methodist church. She joined the Methodist church. We're still members there. We've tried to stay active in everything. We're still one of the few people who still continue to take the Springfield News and Leader and usually read it from front to the end. Try to keep up with what's going on in the world around us. That just about covers all the activities that we do, I believe.
Yeah. I also have a definition of successful aging for me. So to me, successful aging means going through life with a positive attitude about getting older, as well as taking care of yourself physically and mentally, keeping up on your savings accounts, doing physical activity, and different things like that to ensure a prolonged life, which I think is pretty much just a shortened version of yours almost, because you talked about everything that you're involved in, which keeps a positive attitude about life. You talked about monetarily staying up top, so that you have something to fall back on as you get older. Doing physical activity, which obviously you guys do multiple times a week. Keeping up mentally, which you have each other to support you and you have family to support you, which helps you keep a positive outlook. So I think that both of our definitions are pretty similar. Were there any similarities in our definitions that stood out to you at all?
No, I think they both, I'll kind of go along with yours. I think you mentioned family. You have to fall back or depend on your family sometimes when you wouldn't like to have to, but staying well acquainted with your family sometimes pays off. When I had, a few months ago, when I had my little accident, the first person I wanted the first person I called, I didn't want my wife to take me to the emergency room because she was too shook up. So I called my great granddaughter, asked her if she would take me to the emergency room. She did. She was there for me. And anytime I need help, I've got my wife, my son, numerous granddaughters, now numerous great-granddaughters. As I mentioned, it was my great-granddaughter that drove me to the emergency room along. Me and my wife stayed there the whole time. Kept up with me with my physical